Today's topic on personal development is self-discipline. And I personally, I love self-discipline. I think it's one of the real game changer skill that you can have if you want to sustain your success on the long term. It's really something that makes your life so much easier and so much more engaged. And I believe it's also an area where a lot of people struggle. And I also include myself because there are some areas of my life where I'm very disciplined and there are some areas where I'm not. And I also know that people struggle sometimes with, building new habits. So sometimes you start something, you try for a couple of days, you fell out the wagon, and then you're not able to go back on track. And then you beat up yourself because you wish you had more discipline to create these habits. Or maybe you are a procrastinator and maybe, you wait always until the last minute and then you end up having to do all this very urgent work in a big, big chunk of work. And you cannot beat up yourself as well because you are like, if I were more disciplined, I would have done a bit every day instead of handling, this big thing at the end like this. And it's a very important topic to be able to build discipline as part of your motivation, as part of your long-term plan. And I just want to share with you today why I love discipline, because I think that might give you a couple of perspective on how you can approach it as well. So the first thing I want to tackle, it's one of the main misconception around discipline is that discipline should be a long-term thing and should be a pull. Most people think about discipline as, okay, every day I have to fight my own brain, I have to, pass over my own primitive thinking and fears and everything, and I have to force myself to do something that I don't want to do because I'm not looking forward to it. And this is really not what discipline is. This will be more willpower. So willpower is when every day you have to take decisions, you have like this sudden burst of energy to push through something that you're not looking forward to do. This is willpower. And willpower is a logical process. And because it's a logical process, it's something that gets very quickly exhausted. So you cannot rely on that if you want every day to do the work, to do the hard work towards achieving your goals. And where discipline is opposite to willpower is that, first of all, it's an emotional process. It's not a logical process. You know it whenever you fell off discipline is not because suddenly something else is going on in your life, it's because you feel an emotion or some part of your life are not satisfying for you, and then you start falling off the wagon as well in other areas. That's how you lose discipline usually. And it's also a long-term thing. Discipline, the idea is you compound a bit of effort every day, that because you've compounded all that, whenever you have to do a bigger task, you're already ready, you've done the work already, or you build a skill that you needed. This is all a long-term thinking and not just immediate gratification. And you need to make sure that this is a pull. So not something that you're going to have to push through, but something that you have to pull from. And to make sure that you can pull from, two elements have to come within discipline, have to be the basis of discipline, basically. And the first one is obviously motivation. Motivation is a pillar for discipline, and discipline is able to sustain the motivation on the long term as well. It goes all together. And motivation is just knowing what you want to do, where you are going towards, having a very, very clear vision of where you are going. That's going to tell you, okay, I have to be disciplined because this is where I'm going, this is a skill I need to build, this is a project I have to deliver. So it all makes sense, right? It's a logical thing. It makes sense to do, it feels right to do, so you're going to be more disciplined on that. And the second element outside of motivation is having the expectation for yourself that you're going to be successful. If you don't believe you're going to be successful, there is this massive pile of, excuses and negative emotion that your brain is going to slap at you at the first moment you lose discipline. All of this is waiting for you. So you really need to make sure that you believe in your own future success. You really need to have this expectation for yourself. And that's also going to help you keep going on with the discipline as well. So make sure you have motivation, expectation of success, and make sure you really see this as a long-term process. Which means that if one day you are not disciplined enough, doesn't matter. You do the same. Tomorrow you try a bit better. There is no like beating up yourself very hard because you miss one day. It's like, no. Today you miss, tomorrow you get back on track, the day after you stay on track. That's as simple as that. And there is this sense of building it like a learning process, so you really have to think really long term for the discipline, not just immediate gratification. That's the number one. Number two is it's a freedom tool. The disciplined people are the most free people you can meet in your life. And there is this misconception again on discipline, that discipline means like boundaries, you need to have rules, you need to have control about yourself, you need to kind of have very strong accountability. There is really this sense of really control and narrowing effects around the word discipline that if you are really using discipline in the right way, which means a long-term pooling system, it gives you so much freedom. It gives you freedom, first of all, because when you're disciplined with the motivation, you know exactly what you are doing. So you can choose when you want to be disciplined, on which project you want to be disciplined, on which activity you want to be disciplined. You don't have to be disciplined all the time. So you can really focus your energy exactly at the right moment when you need it to deliver what is meaningful for you, what gives you the sense of productivity, and what makes you proud. So that's already, making the time that you spend discipline very enjoyable. But on top of that, because you get this sense of discipline, of achievement, usually you start doing the things much faster, so you free some time for yourself as well. So you're going to get more free time that you can use for creation, that you can use for taking any opportunity that you would like to explore further. So it's kind of really liberating part of your time as well. And the other way it's liberating part of your time is that when you are disciplined and you know there is a motivation behind you, know where you're going, you can take decisions very easily. You can say no to distractions. You can say no to people who come with projects that are not interested for you. You don't have to take so many decisions. You know, okay, I'm going to do a good planning at the end of the month because I'm disciplined on the planning, and then everything goes through the month properly. So you remove part of the decisions every day. You know exactly where you're going. And this has, again, a compounding effect that you're going to save so much time that you can open up other free time for yourself. So this is really discipline, is when you want it, which activity you want it, and the rest of it is just building free time for yourself. That's great, right? And the first thing that is also amazing and that people will not believe me, but discipline is really fun. Repeat after me. Discipline is fun. There is this idea, again, this wrong misconception that people who are disciplined are not creative, too structured, not spontaneous, they're boring to be around. And I'm like, no. Discipline is a daily activity. It's a long-term learning process. And like every learning process, either you make it boring for yourself or you make it fun, you make it playful. That's absolutely your choice. So you can approach discipline as well as a challenge, for instance. So you can say, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to do only videos for LinkedIn, for instance, or for YouTube. And I really hate recording videos, trust me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a video every day. I'm going to challenge myself every day. I'm going to challenge myself to record only 2 takes every day and make sure that I can finish the video in 1 take, if possible. So you can build little challenges where you're going to push your boundaries, but to do it in a playful way. And you can also associate that, obviously, with some celebration. So you can decide, if I manage to do this challenge for myself, I'm going to go and see this very nice friend that I enjoy to spend time with. Or if I have been eating healthy only this month, I'm going to reward myself with a nice restaurant meal. Whatever you can create for yourself that you also enjoy around that. So make it playful as well. And one easy way to make it playful is also to pairing it with a nice activity that you are already doing. So if you say, I want to be, more disciplined on when I clean my apartment every week, and you really hate that, then try to find something that you like. So for instance, it can be that you like dancing like a crazy person. Then just make sure that your playlist is amazing when you're cleaning your house, because that's going to help you do at the same time something fun and still do the work that you're not necessarily looking forward, but that it's something you should be doing. So that's going to help you build the discipline as well, build the habits, and really support your entire life quality. So in conclusion, discipline is really great. It's a great thing you should have. And do yourself a favor. If this year you don't have discipline, make sure this is your number one skill. And I would really like to mention, if I have not convinced you yet that you should be a disciplined person, when you're disciplined, you have success, freedom, and you're fun as well. And that is the best quality you can have for a person. That's going to make you so much more attractive for people. They're going to be willing to be around. They're going to want to work with you. So it's also going to open a lot of opportunity, which you're going to be able to take because you've built so much freedom for your discipline. So it all makes sense, right? So please do yourself this favor to work on it this year and go live your best discipline year ever.